This is the Larrivee C-09 Florentine cutaway, and I've got one, and I've had it for 23 years. Here's the story. This is the Larrivee Florentine, and it's a special guitar to me. I've had this guitar for 23 years. I bought it brand new at a Guitar Center in California when I was growing up. One of my guitars had been stolen. At the time I was playing at my mom's church with the pastor, and the pastor needed me to have an acoustic because that was the whole reason I was there, was accompanying him while he was playing as well. And he made a deal with me where he would pay for half of the instrument if I could raise the money for the other half. And I found this in the Guitar Center. They were clearancing it out because they were no longer carrying Larrivee, which was a dumb choice because it's an amazing guitar. And I picked it up for $1,500, even though it is a $5,000 C-09 Florentine. The Florentine has this sharp, nice cut in it. It's very unique to this particular design, and it's very well made. If you look into the groove there, it is just flush. It's beautifully done, and their craftsmanship is bar none some of the best in the world. In fact, I heard a fun story from the owner of Taylor Guitars, where he was just getting his start, and he said he would always be in the debt of Jean Larrivee because he was just getting his start, and he had put all of his funding into a production of about 10 guitars with a certain cut for the headstock to fit a certain tuner. And then that tuner went out of production and he didn't have any left. And apparently, this is all I've heard from one of the employees that works for Taylor. Apparently, Jean Larrivee pulled 10 sets out of guitars he had already designed and made and sent them over to Taylor. And according to the story, that kept Taylor in business because he had spent all of the money that he had left on those 10 guitars. And so he apparently says that he is forever indebted to Jean Larrivee. So he seems like a great guy. I've not met Jean Larrivee. He's from Canada. They're great guitars. I've had this, like I mentioned, for 23 years, and it's gone all across the country with me. I haven't taken it around the world. I'm too afraid to break it. I do love the way it sounds, but being that this is Functional Friday, I will say if you are a gigging musician, something with dreadnought size body is probably not the right guitar for you. The nice thing about bigger bodies like this is they take very little effort to be loud. You get about the same volume out of a light touch as you do a heavy touch. And that's convenient if you're sitting in your bedroom and you're, wanting a nice volume so you can sing and talk. If you're doing a concert, that kind of body can feed back pretty heavily. So you need something a little bit tighter. Generally a concert series, something a little bit smaller body, in my experience, has worked better for me. A little bit less feedback and a little bit more dynamics. Also, having a big body like this is a little bit more difficult to fit into a small vehicle, and if you don't have a minivan, then this is going in your car next to your other guitars and your amp. So, being the gigging musician, would I recommend this particular model? Probably not. Would I recommend the brand Larrivee? 100%. It is one of the most beautiful guitars I've ever played. Anytime any of my friends play it, they're like, wow, this thing plays incredibly. It's got tiny frets, which is amazing because I like bigger frets, but it also has electronics, so you can plug it in. I will say that the whatever pickup or system is in here, it sounds a little bit electronic. It sounds beautiful, but you can tell that it's an amplified acoustic. Nothing really quite sounds as good as just a mic in front of the guitar, which is what you're hearing now because there's just this mic that I'm talking on in front of the guitar. gotta say, this thing plays great all the way up to the top. Usually acoustics aren't very useful past the 14th fret. I mean, that's the highest note you can do. And it's still there. It still hangs out. So, beautiful guitar, well made. If you are considering doing a Larrivee, pick one up. You won't regret it. It's a great guitar. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever part from it. It's got a great history behind it, you know. That's your Functional Friday. I will see you guys for maybe some shorts in the coming week. Hopefully Tenacious Tuesday, and definitely next week for Work Wednesday. Have a great weekend.